Hello and welcome to the Ink Archive. My name is Briar and I am here with Tyler, and we are going to be watching a match here for Lorcana between some two really fun decks from our local scene. Tell us a little bit about what we might be looking into, Tyler.
Yeah, we got player one playing Steel Red, I believe, on locations. Interesting stuff. You have a bunch of like the locations with RLS Legacy, anything that can pretty much get like that two lore, so you can start racing pretty early, and then building up a big John Silver just kind of survives everything, and
Yeah.
hopefully can just win a game on its own. Against player two playing blue, yellow, or I guess it's sapphire and amber. Sorry. Um, Princesses. I'm not
Hmm.
exactly sure what's in the list. I know it was built by a couple minutes before the match started, so I didn't get to take a look at it too much. But I believe there's like a bunch of Let It Goes in here, a bunch of the Annas. So I think it's playing a lot
Hmm.
on the hero end of things, if I had to guess. So it
Okay.
should be pretty interesting. Um, One thing I will say, because she's playing in blue, um, this Prince or this John Silver may not quite get to do as much as it wants to do
Yeah.
because she kind of just gets around the resist. So that'll be interesting to see at the very least.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting to see because I mean, she does have that let it go that lets you just basically put that character right in the inkwell and gets right past that whole resist line, which is really good. And that might
Yeah,
actually hurt a lot of things.
yeah, it's. I think she's also playing more than like a lot of blue lists we see these days aren't playing too many. But if
Hmm.
I'm not mistaken, she's on quite a few. So that helps her a lot, which is actually kind of fine too, because I think she has some higher cost princesses that can really sing it. So
Oh
that'll
yeah,
be also interesting to see.
yeah. It would be interesting to see what princesses she chooses because there's a lot of really good options out now. That you have like the Vanellope from Shimmering Skies, and you have the Kita. That you can kind of help reduce the strength of your opposing characters for the turn. And you've got like a lot of other princesses, even from the first chapter, the first set, from like the Moana that can ready up all your princesses, which is really good. So you can get some good lure and make it so that that John Silver can't attack it. So you can sing more songs or quest for more the following turn.
Yeah, I'm guaranteeing that she has the set one Rapunzel and that kind of thing. I would venture to say that Aurora is probably going to make an appearance here, the ward from set one as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure exactly what the Steel Ruby player is on exactly. Like I said, RLS Legacy, maybe some Agrabah. Trying to think like Steel locations that might be relevant right now. Um,
Hmm. I think
but
Bayou
none
might be
aren't
seeing
coming to
some
mind
play.
too much. It might be a lot more red. Yeah, Bayou, I guess. Just yeah, anything that's like along the curve might be interesting, just because it lets him build up an early John Silver
Yeah,
while also giving him some card advantage, which Ruby Steel can have some major problems with. One of the reasons we don't see this deck too much, because I personally think as soon as we get like a good draw for this color combination, it could be a reasonable threat.
yeah, no, it can be a big
So
threat, especially that John Silver, and like you were saying with the locations, just being able to play locations a lot, and then just dropping down that John Silver just to go. And it looks like that he played a Jolly Roger on turn one here,
yeah,
which isn't too bad.
no, yeah, I that's the one I forgot. I'm trying to think of all there's the Vanellope you were talking about. So I
Yeah,
imagine she's playing the shift line too. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah. Hopefully, we might be able to see that shift. Oh, we
Two
got
cost
a
three threes are pretty good.
yes, no, exactly.
Oh, the Snuggly Duckling.
Got a Snuggly Duckling. Ooh, a Snuggly Duckling. This is one of the newer cards that came out here, and this is an interesting one. To see with that the two move cost and the 9 willpower on it is quite interesting.
Yeah, I imagine he's favoring a lot of like the locations that have a lot more toughness and like willpower in order to build up this silver because Bayou's one of those ones like I just don't think survives long enough.
Yeah. looks like our player 2 dropped, the, queen item that lets you gain a lure if you have a princess at the beginning of your turn on your field, which is nice. So that's an easy, quick way to gain
Yeah,
some lure, which is good.
yeah, Queen Sensor Code. Pretty good in draft. Not gonna lie, I didn't realize it triggered on every upkeep when I was drafting it for the first time, or on every ready step. So that'll be interesting.
Mhm.
See how much she can gain
Ooh, it looks
out of
like,
this Queen Sensor
we dropped
core.
a drawn silver down with 2 resist and, or an extra wait, 2 resist and, an extra 2 lure on it, and it looked like it took out the Vanellope, and took no damage from it, which is insane because it gains an extra 1 resist and 1 lure for, every location you have on the field that you control.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have liked to get it on that Duckling, but
Mhm.
just didn't have the ink for it quite yet.
Oh, yeah. So we have a Donald now, not in Bodyguard, which there's no real reason to have it in Bodyguard, but we do have that. Um So we're inking. So we have 4 ink on player 1 here, and drops down another John Silver. Wow, he's really got all the John Silvers this time.
Yeah, I think player on the player two side, it's going to be really tough to catch up right now. One of the weaknesses of like this color combination is just the lack of like board wipe at all.
Hmm.
Not having access to like be prepared or even just grab your swords, which really wouldn't help in this situation. But like just not having anything is really going to hurt.
Yeah, no, I think the not having a lot of removals is definitely a rough one. Um, but and then John Silver just keeps getting stronger and stronger for every location you drop down. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. If she could find a way to take care of these locations, it would be pretty good for her, but like 9 is a lot, and she doesn't have a lot of strength on her side of the board right now, so it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, no. It looks like we did get to drop down a Vanellope on from the player 2 side, which is that the D23 one, or is that the normal enchant? I think that's the normal enchanted one that she dropped down, which is pretty to see.
Yeah, well, there's a weird border on it, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the D23.
Oh, we got another location down now. The both John
Yeah, there's the
Silvers gain an
legacy.
extra resist now and an extra lure, so they are both conquest for 4 this turn. So that's an additional 8 to his current 3. Which is crazy. But looks like he's going to challenge one of them. Use one to challenge the Donald to get rid of it, and then quest with the other one to go to 7.
He's gonna be able to go to 9 on his ready step next turn.
Yeah,
If I'm the red steel player here, I think I or the ruby steel player here, I think I'm just questing. I don't think I'm interacting with my opponent. It's turn 4, and they haven't really done anything too significant. I don't even care that they have this Donald. I think I'm just turning everything sideways.
I think I'm right with you. I think just questing out as quick as you can, I think is probably one of the better things to do. As you can kind of see, she's only got 5 ink now, and I mean the worst thing she can do is play what Let It Go and get rid of one of them. But then you're already questing and getting a lot of lore in, to kind of get you closer to the win. But it looks like we played a bell, and then playing another vanilla piece. So with that, the shift Vanellope, the Floodborn one, that one lets you every time you play a princess, it minuses 1 strength from all your opposing characters. So since she played 2, I guess it's
Mm.
-2 strength on all those John Silvers. So they're going to be all 1 strength now. So
It'd be
they're
nice
not.
if she had some inner strength to take care of them,
Yeah, no, it would
but she
be.
can't punch through this resist.
No, the resist is really the biggest thing, and it looks like she's gonna have to quest all the way through, and she goes to 5 lure, and we're readying up and gaining the lure, of course, from the RLS legacy, and it just looks like he's just gonna keep questing, and we got a whole new world we playing.
Oh,
Ooh, discarding our hand. Wow. So we
I'd
gave a
say this is the best opportunity for her to go into like a let it go and really claw back this game.
yeah.
But if he sees another John here and can stagger him a bit, it's gonna really be tough.
Oh yeah,
Training court.
definitely. I mean, she only had one card in her hand, which was the Ariel, the blue or the Sapphire Ariel with Ward on her, and that was the only thing she had in her hand. And now she has a fresh seven, and then going into her next turn, she's going to have eight. Um, but it looks like that we just quested with the John Silvers, and went to 17 lore, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
is
This will be wrapping up, I think. I don't think there's much she can. She'd have to play two Let It Goes
Yeah,
and to deal with all these locations.
that's what I don't even think she can even sing one right now either. So that's kind of the rough part. She can't even sing one. If she could sing, would have been really nice. That would have definitely helped out. But I don't even think she can do that and
Yeah,
take care of the other.
would have delayed it at least a turn because there's none of notably none of these locations actually gain him lore except for that RLS legacy.
Yeah,
So it would put him off of a turn, but uh,
but she would have to come back from the little amount that she had. But she does play, um, plays a Hans down there to gain an extra lure just to kind of get her closer. But I don't know if that's really going to help.
yeah, it's
So it's a rough spot for her right now. She's definitely in a tough situation. Using
yeah. I
that
think
Bell's
this is
effect
just
to
going for
ink.
broke on her side right now.
All right, we're paying two, paying four to play two more cards, two more princesses. But none of them are really going to do anything. I think. Yeah, no, they don't really, because we have an Anna and we have an Aurora that she dropped down, and they don't really do anything for the board. I mean, the Vanellope effect comes off, but that really doesn't matter. I don't in this turn.
No, the resistance is just too high. This start from the red or Ruby Steel player was just too strong. I think.
It has
Um,
been.
but notably, looking at her board state, three, four, five, six. She's got seven ink there with a bell in play. She's really close to actually getting that second
Mm-hmm.
ability from the bell off. And if the Ruby Steel player has like stumbles at all, it's not impossible for her to just like take the game in a turn and really just blow him out. So we'll see. Have to see what happens here in game two.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of could tell who won that one, and he even showed what his hand was at the end, and he just had locations galore in his hand. So he was just going to make those John Silvers just go crazy in the resist and lore power. I mean, it looked like he had, what was it? I think it was like six locations, and if he was able to drop all of them, if not even like a few more, I mean, you had John Silver going to be questing. Just one of them was going to quest for at least almost 10 at that point, which is kind of insane.
Yeah,
Seeing a 10 resist character that can quest for 10 is kind of nuts.
yeah. Effectively makes him like a what 313 on his side. Like that's
Yeah,
pretty. Whew.
it's a
Um,
crazy one.
if I'm her, unfortunately, not knowing the contents of her deck is kind of um a downside here. But if I'm her, like I think I'm just like mulliganing for probably the bell if I had to guess, and just trying to get out as in like a queen sensor core and just trying to go fast. Like you want to get to that ink and make her uh quest for five and just support her with like the other Annas and get out as fast as you can and hope that he doesn't just get out a huge John. Because unfortunately for her, like if he ever gets a one drop location, like that John becomes out of reach for her to go to combat with super fast.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like she was playing a lot of princesses that were able to either quest for two or let you gain lore just by playing them for having other princesses, or other cards that let you gain lore for just having other princesses, like that Hans, and which is a good kind of an aggro way of kind of getting some lore pretty quickly in this case. So she hopefully is kind of looking for some of that to kind of aggro out just in case, and maybe even looking for like those let it goes, so she can deal with those Johns when they do come out.
Yeah, I getting the Penelope would also be pretty nice if she could shift it.
Hmm.
Um, being I'm pretty sure a 3-3 on turn two is is pretty nice.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it means she gets to start going into at combat at these locations really early.
Hmm.
Um, and it forces the Ruby Steel player to have to probably like attack it or be forced to start losing his locations pretty fast. So like I wouldn't hate seeing something like that either.
Yeah, no,
I
that
would
would be
mention
good.
like what he wants to mulligan for here, but like he wants to do the same thing he did last game. So like
Look for
he
John
already had
Silver,
his
get a
perfect hand.
location, and that's it.
Yeah, like you're just going 1-2 John essentially, hopefully with
Hmm.
locations.
So it looks like they're finishing altering their hands, and making sure they can find what they need. And I believe our player two is going to be starting us off here, inking a Vanellope and playing a Daisy. Ooh, we're seeing a Daisy. Daisy's a pretty aggro type of card here. Coming down, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. Well, not surprising, but it is funny because I mentioned it was a princess deck, and then we see the Hans
I know we
and the
see a couple
Daisy. But like,
non-princesses.
yeah, but these are good payoff cards. Like the Hans cares about princesses being in play, which is fine.
Hmm.
And this Daisy's also it's Daisy, and
Quest for
uh,
two, and it's got a 1/4 body. It looks like we forgot to do the Daisy effect. But oh, there we go, revealing it. So it's a location. That technically would go to the bottom of the deck. So they
yeah.
but I think they're figuring it out now.
Oh,
It
they're
looks
figuring
like,
it out
yeah, they're
now.
getting it now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure what this is only the second week Shimmering Skies has even been legal at this
Yeah,
point, so players
it
are still
is.
figuring out cards.
Yeah, no, this is one of those new ones that's it's definitely an interesting interaction. Kind of just revealing that top card of your opponent's deck, and just seeing if it's a character or not, and deciding whatever it does. If it's a character, you keep it on top. If it's not, or if it's a character, you add it to your hand, and then if it's not, it just goes to the bottom of the deck, which is a very powerful effect. But a lot of people are just getting used to it and trying to remember those places that they need to go because they're just not used to it yet. So, but it
Looks like
looks
we're
like
going
we
to 5
dropped
here.
on someone.
Unfortunately, that Anna doesn't actually get the buff from the Daisy, which is kind of a bummer. But like she's playing enough other heroes that it shouldn't be a problem, and
Yeah.
it's not like her opponent's putting too much pressure on her right now. So
This.
hopefully she can.
Oh, we see a John Silver already coming down.
Yeah,
This is definitely what player one would be looking for here.
yeah, it's reminiscent of last game, just uh, switching out the training grounds for the Jolly Roger there.
Mm-hmm.
But this Daisy, I think, is helping a lot. He does play, notably, he does play a lot of non-characters in this deck. So like Daisy's going to be shifting things to the bottom instead of giving him cards, and that's pretty notable.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna make them just find more characters that they need. But it looks like that we just played the our Anna the Knight to kind of come down on the board here and giving our Anna extra lore here, so that gives us that two lore for her, which is good.
Actually, I believe not yet. I think the Anna has to
Oh,
quest first.
well, the small Anna, your 2-drop Anna, it gets an extra lure if you have the hero.
The Knight Anna that gives the buff actually
Oh
has to
no, no,
quest
not that
before
one.
it
The
gives
the
that
small
buff
one's
out.
the one that gives you the
Oh, you're correct.
all
You're correct.
the
You're
so she
correct.
can
I
quest for
see what
two.
you're saying.
Yeah. Now the big Anna, yeah,
Man,
the
all these
night
cards
one
have
is
the
gonna be
same
different.
name. It kind of sucks.
I know. A lot of Annas coming down on the board here. Oh, it looks like we dropped a
Oh,
Jolly
there it
Roger
is.
and another John Silver on our next turn for our Ruby Steel player. Wow. It's looking just like how it is for
Yeah,
game
this is
one. This might be rough.
notably though. Being able to drop the other Jolly Roger here is pretty nice.
That's
Like getting
definitely a good thing.
to double play here is nice.
Oh yeah, getting both of those down, being able just to make your John Silvers just even bigger, and coming down and going ahead and attacking to get the rush from the Jolly Roger here, is pretty good too. Trying to take care of some of those cards that can be
Killing this
problematic.
Daisy though is pretty big.
Yeah, definitely removing that is good. I mean, he's pretty much got the characters now where he just needs more locations. But now we see a Mufasa.
Oh,
which is interesting to see here. And questing for 6. Oh, there we go. We lose another location from the Daisy effect, so going right to the bottom of the deck. So he is losing locations, which is kind of what he's needing to look for here. He's trying to get all these
yeah.
locations
I
come out.
mean, I'm still reeling from seeing this Mufasa. I thought she was strictly princesses, but I was wrong.
Yeah,
Apparently,
apparently.
Mufasa's just always a pretty good card in a mostly character focused deck. Something like this,
Oh yeah,
it just replacing itself usually immediately is really nice. Um, if I'm not mistaken, she actually has game here next turn, and I actually don't know how much the John Silver
yeah,
can do about this because I think both of the other characters both have 4 willpower as well, if I'm
yeah.
not mistaken.
Both all of them. Yeah, all her characters have 4 willpower. I mean, the Daisy has 3 damage on it, so it's technically at 1. But those Annas definitely have 4 willpower, and it looks like he's just going to
Mm.
quest for 10 and go to 14. And I believe you're right that the Sapphire Amber player here is going to win the next turn. I think those daisies definitely helped her out getting those locations because a lot of those locations were the 1 cost locations that would have been really good to spam out on the turn playing multiples. Um,
Yeah, Queen Sensor Core also put in like a decent amount of work, not a
it did.
ton, but like it's definitely annoying to just have out there. It's kind of like an uninteractable location in this matchup.
It is, yeah.
Like
That's I was literally
it's
about to
just
say
gonna
it's just
gain
like a
her a passive
location.
on every turn.
Yeah, passive 1 lure just like a location does, and literally just the only way to get rid of it is with item removal is pretty big, where they can't
Yeah, I
challenge
don't
into
think
it,
he's
and it's really nice to
yeah,
have.
I don't think he's running a lot of interaction in his deck either. I think he's focused on just turning his John Silver sideways.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. We're going into game 3 here. It looks like they just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna gain it quest for 20 and go for the next game. So I think we're going to be starting off with the Ruby Steel player taking the first turn here, and seeing who will win it. Now, who do you think will win this one? Because I mean, we've both got a win on each side here. Do you think which one will win more, or an idea?
It really depends. Ruby Steel, he's consistently gone like location silver, and being on the play is a huge advantage for this kind of deck.
Yeah.
Um, but if she sees a similar like aggressive hand like she did last turn or last game where it was just like Daisy, Anna, and then something else that quests for 2, like that's pretty big. And honestly, even if she could find something that isn't the Queen Sensor core to play on turn 3, like that's even bigger. Something else that quests for 2 that can survive a hit or 2 from John. That's pretty
Yeah.
big for her. So it's interesting to see. Like she could just go like Daisy on turn 2, and that's pretty scary for John Silver. Like
Mhm.
I don't know what other characters he's running. I would imagine he's running like maybe the 1-drop hook and the Smeeze, but I don't know how many other like actual characters he's running.
Yeah, I know we've only seen the John Silver, and that's really all we've seen in locations. We haven't really seen anything else from his deck, where we've seen quite a bit of characters from the other player's side. Seeing all the princesses, seeing the Vanellope's, the Daisies. We've seen a Rapunzel being inked here and there. Um, But that's really about all we've really seen for her too. But they've all pretty much quested for 2 in getting that extra lure to help her aggro out, which has been really key for her.
Yeah, these decks aren't focused on interacting with their opponent too much. They're both pretty like aggressive piles in their own different kind of ways. Like being aggressive for locations is a weird space to play right now because like people, it's really hard to deal with like these like bigger locations unless you're playing against something like red purple who just have really good stats on characters. She does not have that, so she does not get to go to combat with these locations. Starting with the Jolly Roger again, a good one to see for him because John Silver, being a pirate, can move there for free, so that's really nice.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a really big nice one to have on that turn one here. Um, I didn't see what he inked though, but I think it was some steel card, I believe, but I don't know what it was. But it looked like even our player two here didn't play anything on their turn one, so they missed their turn one play besides just inking and passing. So
Yeah,
hopefully she might be able to play something here on turn two.
yeah, most notably, that's a little not playing anything on turn one for that this deck might be kind of backbreaking. We'll see. I mean,
Ooh,
the Aurora
dropped an
coming down. At least
Aurora.
she quests for two here.
Yeah, that's definitely big. I mean, he's not able to really gain lore right now, so he is at zero. Ooh, we see a Fortisphere to kind of help thin throughout the deck a little bit to see some more cards, and hopefully he can find some of those cards he's looking for here. Um,
Notably, not playing a John Silver or inking yet, which is oh, there's the
yeah.
ink. Okay, not seeing a John Silver on turn three. This is the first game we've not seen a John Silver on turn three. So, and none of these locations gaining lore, so she's really not under that much pressure.
No, she's not. I mean, we see another snuggly duckling here, um, to as a location, and just kind of just sitting there and passing here, hoping to maybe find a character. I think he inked a John Silver his on his turn one, I believe. I don't think he really had anything else he
Uh,
could ink. I may be wrong, but it looked like it was. Um, but we drop a Hans on here to gain that extra lore since she has the princess, and questing for two going to three. While we
Pretty nice.
have
Kind of makes up for losing that turn one play.
it does, yeah, no, and then also Hans being able to quest for two has been really nice. Questing that
Yeah.
two is really good.
I have to wonder if the Ruby Steel player just has a bunch of uninkables in his hand and like is sitting on a whole new world and has to kind of. Oh, here's John Silver. Oh
Oh
no,
no, no John Silver,
I
but
stand
we get to
corrected.
play two locations. Okay, so we what is that? Montanui and Jolly Roger, is that
uh,
correct? Or no?
Nottingham, I believe.
Nottingham. That's it. Okay, Nottingham and Jolly Roger. Okay.
Nottingham and Jolly Roger. Notably, too, I actually think. I mean, she didn't start with a Daisy here, but Training Court is actually pretty relevant against this deck. I think, like, where it helps you hit like those numbers with John that you normally wouldn't be able to. So it's an interesting include.
Yeah. Oh, we see two of the
There's
Queen's Core. Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
that's
a
gonna
good
put
one.
pressure on.
Yeah, that's some good pressure on her end, and he's only got one way to get more lure, every turn, and looks like she's just challenging into it, with the Hans and then questing with the Aurora.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't hate it. Starting to get the ones off that like actually gain lore are pretty relevant. I think.
yeah.
Here's a whole
Oh,
new world. I'm
yeah,
sure.
you're right.
Yeah.
He did play that whole new world. So both players dropping
Losing
that
that Let It Go is
7-1.
gonna hurt, I think. That's like her only answer to John Silver. So unless she sees one here, which is not entirely unlikely, but yeah, that one's gonna be a little tough.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she might have drew into it. I mean, she did get a whole new seven cards now, and then being able to get another one for her turn, is definitely going to
She
be
gets another
big here.
two here
Another two. Oh, yeah,
because she has both cores out right now.
she does have both courses. So she could get some more here, which is actually a big thing too.
Yeah, I have a
But
feeling she's gonna attack the Nottingham again.
oh yeah, I mean Hans attacks for three. He has that three strength on him, so I mean that can take care of it in one hit and be no problem and set that your Ruby Steel player behind a little bit.
Well, I mean, he has four other locations though, so getting
No,
rid of
he just
Nottingham's
has
not the worst thing.
no,
Oof.
but I mean it gains him lure every turn, which is definitely a big thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, there's the Moana. That's
Yeah.
gonna be annoying to deal with.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna ready up all of his her princesses here and making it so that he can't challenge into it. But right now it's not the biggest thing, because he has no characters.
But
But
it does give them like if she plays more locations or more princesses here, it does give her the opportunity to start going to combat with these smaller locations.
yeah,
Like
that
that
is true.
Aurora now like attacks for four.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's not nothing.
That is true. Yeah, she can take care of quite a bit of things. I mean, you can have Hans attack one, and then Aurora attack the same one, attack like the Jolly Roger, and take care of that five. and then just ready back up and doing the thing again. Oh, we see a John Silver now
There he is.
with the 4 resist and the 4 extra lure on him. So being able to quest for 5, just a big old John Silver here, which is
Yeah,
definitely big.
it's gonna be a hard decision for the Sapphire Amber player here to decide if she's gonna start like going after these locations or if she's just gonna have to ignore them and start really questing because I just don't know how much it's gonna like. He's just dropping every single one he has in his
He's got
hand.
6 locations on board and making
Yeah, that's
John
tough.
huge. Now has Rush. That's crazy. I mean, I don't even know what he's going to go into. I mean, 6 resist. He can literally go into anything.
Yeah, he probably has to take out. Okay, takes out the hunt.
Yeah, that's I mean, that is the
Yeah, I
biggest
was gonna say
strength
take out the
character.
Aurora for the course, but Moana already triggers them, so
Yeah, there's really nothing for that. I mean, she does get to re-ready, but I mean, taking care of the Hans kind of helps some of it too. Just get rid of one of the big attackers, so you don't get rid of the locations as quick. So instead of now doing only 4 damage, instead of the that 5 or 7 damage that is needed to take care of some locations.
yeah.
But we're looking like we're going into playing the Let It Go.
Yeah,
She
he drew
found
it.
it. That
That's a
that's
pretty big.
big.
I
That's a
think he only has
huge.
like 3 or 4 cards in his hand too, so the opportunity to have another one here is not all that high.
I think I mean, she quested with both of them, letting that Moana come back, ready back up, readying the Aurora up, and just being able to protect it, and so it can't be challenged or with any other pirate that comes in. But just wow. You
Yeah,
hope that maybe he
unless you're
does
ready
have a John Silver.
Okay, there's the.
Oh, we took care of the
He's got to
Aurora
see
with
another removal card
yeah.
here. I don't know if he plays Zeus or something, but he needs something to deal with this
I
Moana.
I mean, even the Zeus really wouldn't do it because I mean Zeus only does 5 damage and that Moana
Yeah, you're right.
has 6.
6
Um,
toughness.
but it
Oof.
looks like we drop
Wait.
2 characters. We drop Shmi
And hook.
and Hook
Yeah,
going into it,
both being
making
pirate.
5 damage or 6 damage going into it.
Whew, all right, all right. We got a game.
Wow, we clearing the board. He's doing it, and then dropping another location, 7 locations, 2
That
of
is
which
a
are gaining
lot.
him a lure.
You might as well not have a playmat anymore.
I know. I mean, the playmat is the locations at this point.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put it all there. I mean, wow, pulling it off. I mean, I don't even know what the Amber Sapphire player is going to be able to do to come back from this. I mean, you have all these locations plus the characters, but we do drop a aerial. Okay, so
I think
now she
that's
can't be
gonna.
targeted.
I think that's gonna lock it up because she has the cores that'll trigger for 2, and then she can quest with this aerial for game. So unless he has exactly be King Undisputed or be prepared, I don't think there's gonna be much he can do about it.
Well, I mean, too. I mean, if he finds another, if he can get an item on board, that would be big too. Because Ariel only gets the 5 lure if she has more items than the opponent does. And he currently only has 1 item on the board, which is that Fortisphere, and while she has the 2, so if he can tie up the items or get rid of the items, that might be kind of setting back that Ariel a little bit. But questing out is probably the big thing to do right now. There's nothing really to do, but see what he's got to play. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
he's tapping a lot there.
they haven't played anything.
He's going to be playing what is he? See what he's got to drop. Okay, we dropped 2 more
More
locations.
locations. All right,
What? 9 locations on board, and then tapping the final 2 for the Beast Mirror.
that's
So
an old set one staple right there.
I know, and then gaining the 2 and questing for the 3 for the 5 to go to 20, and that is game. It looks like the Sapphire Amber player won. The princesses beat the pirates.
Yeah, hey, that's a pretty fun themed. I didn't even realize that until now. It's pretty funny. Um, yeah, it's quite unlucky that he didn't like that. John would have just instantly won the game. Seeing the let it go at the end there was pretty clutch on her end. It seemed like she drew it off the whole new world based on where it was in her hand. I would guess.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
no. I mean, getting a whole new 7, it most likely had a high chance of getting there. So being that
yeah,
one of those
so
7.
that's the Mufasa. Honestly, seeing the Mufasa in this was pretty neat. It does give her like it's probably gonna play a princess off of him anyway. So like that's also
Yeah.
kind of neat, like little tech, I guess. Um, we didn't get to see that Aurora. And the Hans is an interesting choice, but again, triggering off all those princesses is nice.
Oh yeah. But
But
man,
yeah, that Red Steel was
that was a really
Red
cool
Steel was
match to
interesting.
see. I mean,
Yeah, the Red Steel was interesting. I haven't seen a deck playing Beast Mirror. I kind of wish we got to see it a little bit more, but
yeah, I want to see.
uh,
I definitely would like to see more of these matches. With the location pirates deck, I want to see some more of those because that's kind of like a cool concept, and especially when you can get out 9 locations out. That's big, especially if you can get some ones that can get you lure, and then having that John Silver to quest for 10 if you have 9 out, and then just having that 9 resist on him too. Just basically make him so he can't take any damage is huge.
yeah, as I said earlier, as soon as this deck gets like some kind of reliable draw engine, plus like this deck only gets better with time. Where as soon as you see a location with like that's that one cost that gets you a lore. Um, if you like, you just start playing all of the ones that get you a lore on curve that have decently high willpower. It's gonna be really hard because you really only need to quest with John once, and then all these locations are gonna win you the game. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just I think it's the lack of draw engine and the lack of like he had 9 locations, but how many were actually gaining him lore on his ready?
I think it was
You know, so it's
only I think after the last 2 he played, I think 4 of which were going to gain him lore, maybe only 3. One of them was
yeah, it
gaining
was
him
like
2 and the other ones were gaining
Nottingham.
him 1s. Yeah. It was like Nottingham,
So
Bayou, and I can't remember what the last,
probably
Ruby one he
RLS
played.
Legacy.
That's what I was thinking it was too. So I mean, he had ones that could gain him lore, but I don't think that was enough to get him the win. I mean, she was just far enough ahead with those, with the queen's item there, that just let you go and gain lore pretty much every turn, just like what he was, but just a little bit faster.
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate that it seemed like he bricked a little bit there, not seeing John's, but like we said, like having to let it go for that John was pretty clutch on
Yeah,
her end. So
it was a big
it
one.
just was that was kind of like the turning point for her.
Yeah, if she let that John Silver stick around, it was definitely going to be over a lot quicker. It would be definitely a different game.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, well, thank you guys for joining us and watching in this Lorcana match. Check back with us again soon. We'll be posting more and seeing more replays from other cool decks here, just like what we had the Pirates versus the Princesses. And until next time, we will see you again.
See ya.